Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernier. Race number 3 at Gulfstream Park on Pegasus World Cup Saturday kicks off the stakes portion of the program, and we begin with fireworks. The 1-2 finishers in the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint, Stormy Liberal and World of Trouble. Horses that popped 119 and 118 Beyer speed figures respectively, they head this field. You're going to want to bet this race and this card with a DRF Bets account. Sign up at bets.drf.com, deposit $50, bet with $200. Here's the field for the Gulfstream Park Turf Sprint. We're going 5 furlongs, $150,000 is the purse. And let's begin with the 2-time reigning Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint champion, the number 3 Stormy Liberal. He got beat last time out in the Joe Hernandez, but I thought that was a solid enough effort to kick off his 7-year-old campaign. And as we've seen in the past, shorter distances won't hurt him either.
No, he's 4 for 4 at this distance at 5/8. I think this isn't going to be an issue for him. Peter Miller sort of took the blame for that Hernandez loss, said the horse wasn't fully cranked up or cranked up enough to get the job done. But then also, look, I mean, let's just look at it from a race shape standpoint. Relatively close to a hot pace, gets run down by Caribou Club, who did his best running late. He came from dead last that day. I think he is in as good form as he's ever been. Now, look, I don't know if he'll ever run a 119 ever again, but to be honest with you, I have no real reason to knock this horse at this distance, and I'm hopeful that this pace is actually a little bit hotter than what he's accustomed to, and he can sit off.
This is a horse that just wants to beat you. He has an immense will to win. He wins a lot of photo finishes. He's never going to win by 5 lengths, but he's a horse that will grind you down, as World of Trouble found out in the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint. In watching that race, World of Trouble cleared off to the rail entering the turn, had a nice lead at the 3/16 pole. Here came Stormy Liberal with a thrust. That thrust was parried nicely by World of Trouble, who looked like he was on his way to win, but Stormy Liberal was just resurgent and would not be denied. Well, World of Trouble was undaunted by that loss. He switched back to dirt in his most recent start, and he ran a 109 Beyer speed figure. He's got big speed, but he might have to deal with a horse like Recruiting Ready on the outside in here.
Yeah, Recruiting Ready as well as Pay Any Price. I think there could be a real barbecue up front. Now, you brought up that Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint, and I said it right when it happened as we were looking at the race. I said, I wonder if Irad Ortiz could do it again if he would get farther off the rail, because keep in mind, inside on the turf, that was the boggiest part of that turf course on Breeders' Cup weekend. And I can't help but think that that perhaps would have been the difference. It was only a neck that separated the two. If you push him out a little bit more, perhaps World of Trouble can hang on. At the end of the day, you know he's in raging form at this point. Heck, I don't know what his best game is. Is it turf sprinting? Is it dirt sprinting? Whatever it is, he's unbelievably fast. If you think he comes in and replicates that Tampa effort, he's probably the horse to beat.
Does it bother you that he is yet to run on firm turf? Or is it simply a case of this horse has handled various surfaces over his career and he can run on broken glass?
I guess it's probably, your fears are probably allayed a little bit, the fact that he runs on anything, it seems. But at the same time, I think it would probably be a little bit, I don't want to say naive, but the idea of, you just assume immediately that he can replicate a 1-teen Beyer on firm turf. I don't know if that's the case. Perhaps he really is a horse that likes cutting the ground. He may get it on Saturday. It sounds like it's about a 50-50 chance of rain. If it shows up, you know it's not a problem. And if it doesn't show up, I think you just put your faith in the horse and know that he's incredibly talented.
Let's take a look at the Timeform US Pace Projector. I wonder if Jason Service had his druthers, he'd want the 4 World of Trouble outside of Recruiting Ready, who looms the speed in this race. There's not a lot of time in a 5 furlong dash to break, rate off the pace, and then come with a second run. If Recruiting Ready and World of Trouble hook things up, advantage Stormy Liberal. Let's start with Recruiting Ready, going out for Stanley Huff. First-time turf for this horse. Algorithms, the sire, clicks with 12% of first-time turf runners. I do not see a lot of turf in this pedigree, but I do know he's fast on dirt.
Very, very fast. The problem is, it seems like he does his absolute best when he's on the lead, and if you think you're going to get to the lead going 5/8, we've talked about it. There is a difference between speed at 6 furlongs on the main track. I know everyone just thinks, oh, well, those are the real burners. No, the real burners are at 5/8 on the grass, where they can go 21 for a quarter mile. I think there's a real chance that Recruiting Ready, as fast as he is, this is going to be some legitimate speed that I don't know that he's even ready for.
Pay Any Price is a very fast horse as well, and he might have his eye on the early lead. All he's done is win 15 of 25 starts. He had a 4-race win streak snapped last time out, but the horse that beat him, Vision Perfect, is one of the better turf sprinters in the entire country.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be honest with you, I feel like if you're in the world of trouble camp, I think you're most concerned, in my opinion anyway, about pay any price as opposed to recruiting ready. Pay any price on his best day can throw down a 21 and change opening quarter. Go back to that turf sprint 3 starts back over the summer at Gulfstream. Those are time form fractions, or ratings anyway, of 171 and 135 early. This is a horse that if they really want the lead, I think they can get it. The question is, how fast do you want to go early? Because I feel like a horse like this is really in a tough spot, because if you go and you duel with World of Trouble, let's say you put him away, then you got to deal with whether it is recruiting ready or more likely than not Stormy Liberal. I think these speed horses, unless you're the speed of the speed and you can just go on with it, I think there's a real chance that they could kind of just, beat each other into the ground.
Big price down on the rail for high percentage connections. Jose Ortiz, Jorge Navarro, the one, Singin' Cryin' Dubai is shipping down from Woodbine, first time Navarro. This horse has run some nice races on the turf, but it's slightly longer distances. I do wonder if 5's a bit sharp.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I also wonder, just from a quality standpoint, I mean, like you say, a big change as far as trainer is concerned, but at the end of the day, I'm not totally convinced that this one's going to be fast enough to run with the likes of any of the big boys in this spot. I think this is a pretty good group.
Oak Bluffs has done some nice things in his career. He was second in this race last year. He won the Pennsylvania Governor's Cup after overcoming a little bit of traffic trouble. But since that race, he just really hasn't come back to form. Another victim of Vision Perfect last time out.
I will tell you what, though, I really liked his Claiming Crown race 2 starts back, given the fact that Rocket Heat just basically blitzed that field, went out there and took him gate to wire, and Oak Bluffs came from the back. I feel like if you're looking for a horse to use underneath in a race like this with the pace signed on, he's one that you could use.
Little Chesney's a restricted stakes winner over this course and distance. Second start of the form cycle. Might be in too tough, just the buyers are too light.
Yeah, from a speed figure standpoint, he's just very, very tough to like in this spot.
Ditto for Belle Tapisserie, whose best buyer speed figure has come on dirt. That was a 95 way back in March of 2018, and that's the only buyer speed figure over 90 in his career. He did have some trouble leaving the gate last time out at Tampa Bay, but he might be overmatched.
Yeah, plain and simple, just too slow.
Time for our top selections for the Gulfstream Park Turf Sprint, race number 3. They might be the 2 best turf sprinters in the country. You believe in Stormy Liberal, and why not? All he wants to do is beat you, and he might get the right pace set up.
Well, really, that was kind of the thing that for me was the difference maker, that I just feel like at least the versatility that he has shown at this point is slightly more than that of World of Trouble. World of Trouble might actually be the more talented horse, but I'm going to go with sort of the situation and the setup potentially. I'll go with Stormy Liberal.
Give me numbers.
3, 4, 8, 6.
I'm going 4, 3, 1, 6. I'm hoping World of Trouble just shows that big speed that he showed in the Breeders' Cup, and yes, that was over a very wet turf course. If he can dissuade the speeds, it's not like he's going 2 miles. He only has to go 5 furlongs, but you know Stormy Liberal will be coming. It's going to be a super matchup to kick off the stakes portion of the Pegasus World Cup Saturday card at Gulfstream. Make sure you get involved with a DRF Bets account. No excuse. Deposit 50, bet with 200, DRF Bets. Ready, set, bet. Approximate post time for the Gulfstream Park Turf Sprint is 12:30 Eastern. Good luck.